The Saints are the best team in the league.
I know.
The Patriots lost,
Cowboys lost.
and we weren't worse than yous.
That's true.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Roll the intro.
With an A football that's all off the rails, like a resurgence on epic fails. Living in chaos just like our show. Tune in, it's a wild ride, you know. Tune in, it's a wild ride, you know.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nerdy Football Lads podcast. Into week 3, well, just before week 3 of the NFL season, B-Dog, they're flying by.
They are indeed. There's a few teams that can't be stopped, and a few teams you'd expect to win by loads that aren't.
Last week was crazy.
It was.
Last week was crazy. I don't think you can write off any result
No,
this year.
no, it's going to be an interesting season to say the least. Like, I mean, I know it's only week 2, but still at this point, you're looking at some of these teams that are 2-0, and you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah. I mean, you said it a couple of weeks ago. This season's going to be one of them where you can't just say there's some teams are just going to walk away with it.
Yeah.
And you said that a couple of weeks ago, to be fair to
Yeah.
you. And you're proven to be absolutely right so far. Some of the results, the Eagles lose to the Falcons, who were miserable the week before.
Yep.
The Chiefs don't really look like they're getting going.
No, Mahomes. What? How many? Was it 3 interceptions now in 2 games?
It's just not Mahomes. Like
No.
Kelsey is non-existent.
No. Your fantasy team is shocking.
All right, I'm having a stinker this year. I'm having a
You
stinker.
picked up Mahomes, Worthy, and
Kelsey, I know, man. Jesus Christ. The Cards, who we've been waiting for it. Well, you have. I've always said it wasn't going to happen,
I
but
always say-
showed up
I
this
always
week.
say, yeah. Well, it's just the start, innit? You know, Murray was his first. Week 1 was his first game back in a while, pretty much,
Yeah.
wasn't it? You know, he had to get his feet again, and Marvin Harrison, it was his first game.
Yeah,
And James Conner is a sleeper at running back.
yeah, concrete.
Mm.
Concrete. I had a little bit of a stinker last week. So, 3 of my predictions last week were that the Dolphins were going to have way too much for the Bills.
Yep.
I was wrong. I had that. What else did I have? Oh, I had that if any team was going to make it to the Super Bowl over the Chiefs, it was going to be the Ravens.
Yep.
They've started a stinker.
Yep.
And I also said that this is the year that the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. And they lost. I mean, yes, it's early doors, but my predictions making me look a little bit stupid last week.
Yeah, it's you can't. I would hate to bet on these games this year.
Yeah.
Like, you're just unsure about everything.
I put a little bit on for week 1, and I mean, I was a couple of results off, but it's harder. It's so hard. It takes one team to just kind of roll like the Bengals, rolling like they've already won, and yeah, it's crazy.
What do you think about that though? Do you reckon, Burrow's injury? He fumbled. I've seen a few reports saying that it's his wrists.
Yeah, so against us, he was. You could see he was kind of
Yeah.
doing this,
Yeah.
and he was kind of uncomfortable with his wrist. I kind of thought it was just, well, you're getting your ass kicked, and it was that kind of thing. But yeah, same again in week 2. I wonder if he's forced himself back to kind of give them a chance later on in the season. But if anything, he's probably just harming his team by doing that.
Yeah, you're not wrong, because I've seen. Can't remember. Was it Chase who came to the sideline and said, like, "Dog, I need you."
Yeah,
To Tyler Bennett, Bagnet, or whatever you want to call him.
Chase has just been a chump this year, hasn't he?
I know,
What a chump! He should have been on my duds actually.
It
But
was, I think there's a lot of prima donnas coming into this receiver role at the moment.
yeah,
A lot of people who don't understand that your quarterback's not going to make a perfect throw every single time.
I don't mind it if not if you don't back it up. So my argument with this is Chase, and I've said it before. I've argued with people about Jamar Chase before. Chase thinks he's better than he is, and people say, "Oh, but he's a top 5 receiver." Yeah, just.
Yeah.
I reckon I could name 5 receivers that you could argue are better than him.
Yeah.
And my thing is, when Joe Burrow's not playing, he's non-existent.
No,
He looks bang
yeah.
average. Justin Jefferson this year,
Already
who's his quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I know. Devante Adams,
Mm.
Gardner Minshew, looks great. If you're a good enough receiver, you'll get open. Now, if you're getting open and you're just not getting thrown the ball,
You can't.
that's
not your
the quarterback.
fault. Yeah.
But yeah, Jamar Chase for me. Do you know what, when he first came in, I really liked him, and now I just think he's a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
He just seemed like a bit of a dick, and yeah, it's not someone that I would enjoy having around my team when
No.
it's not going well.
No, I know. And there's a few like that, you know. Can't think of any off the top of my head now because at the moment the only receivers I can picture are the ones that are scoring week
Yeah,
in, week out.
well, yeah.
I mean, Jefferson gone from having potentially JJ McCarthy, who looked like the best rookie out of the pack, to
Yeah.
Sam Darnold and still balling out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Geno Smith is a sleeper. You know,
Yeah,
I think it threw for over 333 and 332 yards. I think it was.
yeah.
DK and Jackson Smith and Jigba
Well,
had a few.
That's the perfect argument for it, though, isn't it? Because Geno Smith, if he didn't have that receiving trio, you could argue going to be fairly average.
Yeah.
But because the receivers are
Dogs.
they are good,
Dogs.
the receivers make the quarterback better
Yeah.
by being open and by making catches. But yeah, Chase for me, bit of a chump.
Mm.
Should we get into some studs
And
and duds? Yeah, roll a jingle.
Studs and duds.
Right, we went AFC first last week, Beto. We'll do NFC first
Do
this week.
NFC this week.
Let me tell you, because if you look at the results from last week and the games, which I know you have, the AFC had a stinky week. In terms of trying to pick studs for this, I really, really struggled.
Yeah.
I really struggled because the NFC slapped. Like, I was like, oh yeah, oh no, he's NFC. Oh, him, oh no, he's NFC.
Yeah.
And that happened about 4 or 5 times.
I just realised one of my studs that I've got of a list of 5 is actually from the Jets.
You've got a list of 5?
Yeah. Couldn't pick.
Oh, right, well, you can roll through them quickly, right?
I'll just go through the 4 because I did have Braylon Allen on there.
All right, okay.
I just thought, you know, he was pretty decent for the Jets for the limited touches he had.
Yeah, yeah,
I
no.
really like him. I would have liked him at the Cowboys. Youngest player in the league.
Yeah,
Ball. We'll start off with my studs. So, obviously, the number 1 stud this week was Alvin Kamara.
okay, yep.
I mean, I don't need to say much more, do I? You know, he always has one game every year where he decides he's going to score the most fantasy points for any player ever, and then not do much for the rest of the season. It just happened to be against us, you know. I remember when he had the Christmas cleats on, and he scored 6 touchdowns. He wasn't quite that bad against the Cowboys, but you know, it was.
He's one of them running backs that we've spoke about before, just as effective running it as he is in the coming out and catching it. Just as effective catching it as he is running it.
Annoyingly good. So he had,
Yeah.
I think it was 20 rushes for 115, 3 TDs rushing it, 2 receptions for 65 yards and a touchdown. You know, it's just crazy stats there when you look at it. But
Did you just try defending?
no,
You tried defend? No, all right. Oh,
apparently
yeah,
not, no.
fair
We
enough. Okay.
We just gave it a quit that game. No. I think we did. I think. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you what happened. It was just missed tackles, broken defensive plays, and just getting beat deep.
Yeah.
But Trayvon Diggs said it best. I think he said, you know, we got punched in the mouth this week.
Yeah.
And it's better to have happened in week 2 than week 7.
Yeah, humbling, but you
So,
get back on the tracks and
yeah.
get the train moving
And
again.
then the other 3 I've got all play for the same team.
All right, you didn't just pick the team?
No. I wanted to pick all 3 of the main people separately.
Okay,
So-
week 2 of doing this, and we've already broke the way we do it. You picked 4 guys, well, 5 guys.
Yeah, one of them was wrong, but
Okay, go on then.
it's essentially the Cardinals' offense.
Yep, okay
I
then.
mean, last week you couldn't fault anything.
No,
I mean,
no,
Murray
fair
was
enough.
17 for 21, 266 yards, 3 TDs, and 5 rushes for 60 yards pretty
Yeah.
much on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, Marvin Harrison Jr. 4 for 8, 4 catches, but for 130 yards.
Seen a cool stat about him.
Oh, what was it? Was it not? He was the youngest, or he's the first rookie since his dad to have that many yards in a game.
Yeah.
Mental.
And
innit?
multiple receiving
And
touchdowns.
yeah,
First time
mental.
since his dad. How cool is that?
That's just legacy, and it's saying it right there.
It's
He had
so
2
cool.
touchdowns.
I love
mean,
stuff like that.
I mean, he did look good. I mean, just to think, like, I think one of his players was like a 60-yard touchdown,
Yeah.
which makes up for most of his yards. But then ridiculous. And then obviously we talked about James Conner,
Yeah.
21 rushes, 122 yards, and 1 touchdown. Like, you can't fault anything with that Cardinals offense.
No.
And like I said, I do think they've got a good team, and they've just shown it. I mean, yeah, it was against the Panthers, but It was week 2.
You can only beat what's in front of you.
Exactly.
And we were saying last week, the film on Harrison was yikes.
Yeah.
You know, Kyler kind of looks similar to what he was before. I was saying, ha 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 ha, I'm right, because they don't look like they're up to anything. And yeah, like you said, maybe this is the week that, you know, they kicked on and we've kind of seen a little bit about
Oh, yeah.
what they're going to be.
Yeah.
So is that all of your studs?
That's all my studs. I picked 4 because I couldn't just pick 3.
Well, I've stuck to the rules and I've done 3. All right, so stud number 3, Andre Iosivas.
Oh, the man you dropped in fantasy.
Yeah, my guy. Right, so the guy that Si laughed at me for, and then laughed at me for dropping him, and then took him. That guy. The stat line is incredible, right? 2 receptions, 7 yards, 2 touchdowns. Get on the hype train now. That's the notes I've got. That's all of the notes.
That's almost as good as Jerome Bettis with 1 yard, 3 touchdowns.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. But that's a red zone threat right there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, and I think I've been misconstrued in what I've said, because I said he's the next Puka Nacua. I mean, stat-wise, he's not a similar player at all.
Yeah.
I think he's a lot taller. He's nowhere near as quick. His route running probably isn't the same.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of like having that impact from no one knows who you are to, oh damn, like this guy can play.
Yeah.
I think he's that next step, and I think the more he gets targets and things like that, I think he was 4 targets, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, I think. But yeah, they're high on him in Cincinnati, and he's kind of only going to go strength to strength, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah. Stud 2, Gardner Minshew. So I went from my guy to our guy.
Yeah.
One of our guys. He's come out of week 2 with the highest completion percentage in the league.
Yeah.
77.5% completion percentage. Not to be sniffed at all. To say, I mean, yes, Devante Adams, Brock Bowers is a little stud, Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
But to say we went into the season going, oh, this Raiders throwing game isn't going to be up to much, and Devante might be off to the Jets. Looks really good.
Nah, he's enjoying himself, isn't he?
Yeah, came back from behind to beat the Ravens, threw for 278 yards, a touchdown and a pick. But yeah, probably one of the guys in the league that everyone was doubting in his environment.
Oh, yeah,
probably one of
massively.
the teams that everyone's doubting. Good for him, man. And we've said it before. Bit sexy, bit cowboy-y.
I love that guy.
Yeah, for
Football's about skills, dude who really cares about their sexiness or their hair. Focus, man, we've games to share.
What a surprise, Kev's sexualising a player.
It's a record, 30 minutes in. Stud number 1, James Cook.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah, we spoke about last week how if the Bills are going to do anything, they kind of need to all group together and not just put it all on Josh Allen's shoulders. I mean, the whole running game, I think they had 4 different rushers with the ball. It wasn't just Cook, but he was kind of the more deadly one.
Yeah.
He was the offensive player of the week last week. 11 carries for 78 yards, which is 8 fewer carries than week 1, but 7 more yards, so way more effective with the ball. Scored 3 touchdowns, I believe.
He did indeed.
I've got scored a touchdown, which is a typo. Scored 3 touchdowns, had 1 reception, so yep, coming out of the backfield as well, which will help out.
That's 1 receiving touchdown.
Oh, well, there you go.
He didn't just have 1 reception.
Did he not just have 1 reception?
Surely not.
I'm sure he said it was 1 reception, you know.
He took 1 reception to the house. Jesus.
Oh, this is a new record. 14 minutes and we've made a mistake already.
But, well, it's-
No, yeah, but like we're saying, if this Bills offense is going to really get going, you can't just rely too much on your quarterback, especially with his lack of weapons harsh.
I think a lack of experienced weapons.
Studs, a lack of studs, maybe. But yeah, the Bills, and I said this on a TikTok I put out, I reckon they probably all got together last week and said we need to start all chipping in. We need to all do something here. Obviously, 3 picks by the defense helps.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I always said I'll never pick anything good for someone in my division, but the lack of decent AFC players and teams this week, and how good Cook was for the Bills, it was hard not to. But yeah, James Cook, AFC stud number 1 this week. Good job.
I really liked Tua's impression of James Cook as well in that game
What?
when he ran the ball.
Oh, oh God almighty. We'll get on to that a bit after. NFC duds, B-Dog.
Duds, I think, start with the first one again, just the Panthers, everything about that organisation this year has just
Open
been
and
to
shut.
fault.
Open and shut case.
You know, I mean, Sam Darnold starting now over Bryce Young, who you took with the first overall pick last year.
Yeah.
Like, it says a lot. Not Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold starting.
Oh, no, it's not. It's Ginger Guy.
Oh, it's Andrew Dalton.
Yeah, Andy Dalton.
Sorry, they've got the
Yeah.
same similar names.
I always get them two mixed up as well.
Same. They
Yeah.
don't even look the same.
Yeah.
One's ginger.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andy Dalton, ex-Cowboy.
Not even sexy either.
He's a sexy ginger.
No, we hate a not sexy quarterback
He
down
looks-
around here. But
We've got to do a sexiest quarterback list, aren't we? And then not the top 5
Ooh.
least sexy.
oh, that I'll be up for that. I'll be up for that.
It'd be interesting to see who's our list gets.
Who would be number 1? Who's your sexiest
My
quarterback?
sexiest quarterback. Well, at least saying it, Jimmy Garoppolo had like the most symmetric face.
He was the sexy. He's not in the league now though, is he? You can't have him, I don't think.
I don't know.
But he was probably the sexiest.
It's a problem, you know. I want my rugged quarterbacks back. You know, I
Yeah.
want 5-head Peyton Manning and fat Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, well,
maybe not
well,
Ben
a bit
Roethlisberger.
sexy, yeah.
Not Ben Roethlisberger. You know, what I mean, not
Oh,
the
yeah.
allegation.
Yeah, let's not
I
touch
guess
on
the
that one.
most sexual is Deshaun Watson, but
Let's move on from this little bit, shall we?
you know,
Oh God Almighty! Right, dud number 2, B-Dog.
Terry McLaurin, I think
Okay.
6 for 8 for 22 yards.
Yeah.
I just, you know what I mean, for that number 1 wide receiver that's had 1,000 yards for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
So far, I think he doesn't even have 100 yards.
And Jaden could do with all the help he can get, I
know,
think,
but
as
again,
well.
you look at him and he's still balling out
Yeah, man.
on the
Yeah.
on the ground in the air. You know, he's making some decent passes. He just doesn't want to hit Terry McLaurin for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think he's basically what we thought, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he's that dual threat
Mike
guy.
Vick
But
kind of guy.
yeah, exactly.
Making some big passes now and again. But yeah, I think Terry just needs to get the ball a bit more.
Yeah.
I'd be hurt for the guy if he doesn't get another 1,000-yard season after they did so much just to get it to him in the last game last season.
Yeah, man.
And my third dud is Mr. Caleb Williams. I think
Yeah.
again, I mean,
I've seen that coming a little bit, to be honest.
yeah, like 23 completions on 37 passes for 174 yards and 2 picks.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of completion, not horrendous, but never really looks
Threatening.
dangerous. Yeah.
No, nothing at all. When you look at him, like, and one of the things that annoyed me was after the game, he played. Who did the Bears play again? I just completely forgot off the top of my head.
Texans.
The Texans, yeah. CJ Stroud came up to
Oh,
him,
yeah.
talked to him to give him some advice, and he said, "What I need advice for that guy, like from," and he was the best rookie quarterback.
Is
last
that what
year.
he said?
That's what he said. He said, "What I need advice of him for." That kind of attitude is
Yeah,
just...
and this is what we said, isn't it, about his attitude coming into the league? Yeah, like you said, that guy was the benchmark of what rookie quarterbacks need to do to come
Yep.
into the league, and yeah, man,
It's all right thinking you're the greatest, but when you're not producing it, you need to
this
take all the
is
help you can get.
this is the problem we had, because from probably most of last college season, it was Caleb's gone to the Bears, number
Yeah.
1 quarterback, he's the best, the Bears are going to win everything.
Nah.
And that's all it's been. There's never been any talk of, well, apart from us, because we did, to be fair, what if it doesn't go well?
Mm-hmm.
No one's said that.
Nope, no one
And
questioned it.
there was, I mean, obviously, yep, it's week 2, and we get it, but there was always a chance that this guy that was lights out in college isn't going to be lights out in the NFL.
You've
It
seen
does
many
not work
times.
that
No,
way.
You've seen it many times before.
It
many
doesn't work
quarterbacks.
that way. We had this exact same conversation when we were
Yep.
on with Dill the other week.
Mhm.
It does not work that way.
No.
There's a million guys who've been Johnny Bollocks coming out of college, Heisman Trophy winner, and done nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It happens, and there's a good chance.
But then again, like you said, you come into this team set up to fail.
Yeah, well, exactly. They've invested that much in the team that you've almost got to win.
Yeah.
And when you don't, what happens?
His defense bailed him out in week 1. But no, yeah, like you can't have those weapons around you and not produce wins
No,
or
well,
even touchdowns.
This is the scenario they've put them in, isn't it? I mean, I might be saying at the end of the season, "Oh crap, Drake May isn't what I thought he was." I genuinely do not believe that. I genuinely think that this guy's going to be kind of the Jaden Daniels type. He's just going to be able to make plays, and I think he's going to be wise enough to not. He's not got that attitude. Have you ever sit and listened to him speak?
No.
He's very humble. He's smart. He's not, look how good I am. All he said is, I just want to learn. I just want to learn. I just want to learn. I don't think he'll be like that. But there's a good chance I could be going, oh, well, Drake May's not what I thought it was going to be. But the difference is we've not fired millions and millions of dollars into our receivers.
Yeah, and I've just realised as well now when we talked earlier about Chase saying, like, I need you in the game. It wasn't Chase, it was DJ Moore at the Bears.
Oh.
That's who I thought it was. At the Bears, DJ Moore after he
Yep,
dropped a pass.
that
and he
rings a
came
bell
over
now. Yep.
And he said, I need you in, dog. And you're just like, you're going to waste the first overall pick on this guy. And even your receivers are saying, no.
Yeah.
You know?
That does not. It's not a good look.
No,
Not a good look.
it's not at all.
Next dud. Final dud.
That's all my duds.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it was Scary Terry and
Caleb Williams and
Caleb Williams.
everything about the Panthers.
and yeah, just the Panthers.
Yeah.
We should just do.
A segment on the Panthers.
You get 4 duds every week, and one's just the Panthers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Right. Fair
that's
enough.
fair.
Right.
I'll
My
try and stick to
duds.
3 duds.
Right. So is number 1 the worst one? Were you doing the worst one first?
Yes.
Right. So my worst one is Tua. Right. For 2 reasons. Right. And people are probably going, oh, that's not very fair. 2 reasons. Right. The first one.
Concussion.
Well, that's the second one. Right. The first one. He stunk.
He did.
He
was bad.
stunk. My notes here. His performance on Thursday Night Football against the Bills, in which he was absolutely woeful. Right? Yes, 17 for 25, 145 yards. That looks pretty good on the surface. Not too bad. Touchdown, yes, 3 picks, and they were all
Awful.
stinking.
Yeah.
So we've got overthrows, underthrows,
Mm-hmm.
passes into no man's land on a flat outside.
Yep.
Really hard to watch. That's what I've got written down. And I don't think that is harsh.
No.
It got to the point where he was throwing it and you're going, because there was a few that could have been worse. It was not a good day for Tua.
Yeah, I feel sometimes when I watch him throw, it's like my TV's at 0.5 speed sometimes. Like
Yeah.
you watch him throw a ball and it's in the air, and you're just like, this is not a strong arm.
Yeah, Mac Jones was the same, man. This was always Mac's thing. Accuracy, yes. Put it in the right spot, yes.
Yeah.
Reading, yes. But the ball has to get there on time,
Yeah.
and sometimes to get there on time, you have to zip it, and that was always Mac's problem. Tua, I can see the exact same thing. There's a lot of not this season, I don't think I've seen it, but previously there's a lot of Tyreek Hill kind of waiting for the ball,
Yeah.
and that comes from that when there's too much air under it, your receiver's waiting for the ball, and yeah. Unfortunately, he did go out injured with a concussion, which brings me to reason 2. Not retiring.
Is he not?
Nope. He's come out and said that he's not retiring. They've put him on the injured reserve list, so he's out for at least the next 4 games. But was it 3 concussions in the last couple of years?
3 major
Bad
concussions in
bad
3
ones.
years.
Bad one. It's them ones where like your body like
Yeah, it seizes up.
seizes up. And at what point do you go, right, this is gonna really affect me
Yeah, well, that's
in
it.
life?
CTE is still a big issue, and it's coming more and more. I
Crazy.
mean, it's happening. Players are dying younger and younger after retiring
Yeah.
because of it. Like he's 26. If he carries on playing and carries on getting concussions, he might not even make it to 32.
No, it's scary, and it was one of the things for me in this season in particular when people are starting to wear the Guardian caps. Why did he not just?
I know.
Why would you not do that? Why would you not do that when you know you're suspect to kind of because a concussion doesn't go away.
No.
And when it puts that
Damage
effect on your
kind of
brain,
brain,
your damage,
yeah.
that doesn't go.
No.
It just slowly gets worse every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, for the two reasons, you were bad and you need to take care of yourself and just let it
really
go.
does. It
Just
really
let it
does.
go. Because it's going to be a lot worse than only having a 3 or 4 year career.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, he's been paid.
Yeah, yeah. Enjoy your money. Get out.
Mm. Look after yourself.
Yeah, man. Dud 2, Will Levis.
Yeah.
Again, on the whole, not a bad game. They lost 24-17 in back-to-back weeks, so a one-score game. The problem is, in both of them games, he made the exact same mistake and lost. Well, put them in a position to lose.
Yep.
Brian Callahan, have you seen his press conference? Oh, God. So while the game was on, the cameras panned to him, and you can see him saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" Right? And the media picked up on this. And in the press conference after the game, he was asked about what were you saying? And he said, "Well, I think the camera's got it pretty good." Right? So it was like, well, I'm on camera, I've said it. You know? He said, when they asked about his frustrations, he said, and this is a quote, "Yeah, I was upset. It was dumb. It was the exact same thing as last week, and it cost us points in the red zone. That is what it is. He's a grown-up and he knows better. I was really irritated because he cost us 3 points in a game that we probably needed it." He went on to say, quote, he went on to say, it's inexcusable to do these types of things. It's rare to see a head coach come out and kind of
Yeah.
slay the... I mean, but I don't particularly mind it. Look, he's a big boy. He knows that was stupid.
Yeah.
You know, because you know that he's getting his ass kicked in the locker room regardless.
Oh, 100%.
There's no point in a head coach coming out and saying, "Oh, you know, we believe in him and he'll be better next time," and then 10 minutes later you're ripping into him in the locker room.
Yeah.
I don't really mind that. When they come out and say, "Oh yeah, it was a mistake, but we'll move on to the next one," everyone knows he's still getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he may as well come out and say, "Yeah, I didn't mind it at all," but yeah, frosty reception for Will Levis. But the mistakes were exactly the same, B-Dog, weren't they? Stupid throws, getting sacked, just throwing the ball out there, and yeah, stupid.
Yeah, he needs to really.
Just look after the ball, take the sack.
I know.
Just
I
look
know.
after the
So
ball.
He's just trying to make a big play because he's trying to make a name for himself. But sometimes it's better to take a sack than it is to give up 3 to 6 points.
Yeah. I watched in the off season. Josh McDaniels came back to the Patriots. He was working with the Patriots media, and a couple of guys from the Patriots media were watching through some game film and trying to get Josh McDaniels' like input on it. So for those that don't know, Josh McDaniels was our offensive coordinator for a lot of or most of our Super Bowls. He was a pretty successful OC. Right.
He went to the Lions, didn't he?
He did, and stunk. And then he went to the Raiders and stunk. Some people should just be coordinators.
And the Patriots were like, "We'll have you back, Josh."
Yeah. But he was saying, because he was asked about Brady, like what makes Brady so good? And it was just, you knew the ball was in safe hands. He was never going to make a bad player worse. If you drop back and there's nothing there, there's nothing there. We'll take it to the next player. And he was so good, and he threw so few picks because he just looked after the ball first. Yeah. And I think, yes, you want to make big plays, but make big plays when they're there. And I think if the greatest of all time can't just force big plays because he thinks he's the greatest of all time, then maybe you shouldn't do that as well. So, yeah good point, B-Dog. And my final duds, the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to win it all, Ravens.
Yeah. Well, I said if the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl, the Ravens will. I mean, you know, there's time, but week 1 they had the Chiefs. Fair enough. Fair enough. But the Raiders, really? They've gone 0-2 for the first time since 2015. And the whole story of the game is that they beat themselves. Lamar had a pick. There was countless blown assignments on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Missed tackles on defense and 109 yards in penalties. Even the special teams got involved. Jordan Stout shanking a punt,
Yep.
and Justin Tucker missing a field goal,
Oh,
which is unbelievable. But yeah,
Brandon Aubrey's the best kicker in the league.
well, he's in my fantasy team, mate, so he can't be. Yeah, no, just a really bad day at the office. But I think the worst thing is some of the stupid fans are calling for John Harbaugh to be sacked.
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Like,
Like it's week 2, like we've said.
Pull yourself together.
I do think one person you missed off your studs list now is, and I know he's a kicker, but Kai Fairbairn, kicker for the Texans, 100% completion rate and everything now.
Yeah, man.
That man has won me a few fantasy games.
Yeah, fair dues, fair dues. Right, the problem is now, B-Dog, is I haven't printed the fixtures for this week out, or have my tablet in front of me, so what I'm going to have to do is...
Make it up. The Cowboys
let's
are
just guess
playing
who.
the Eagles.
Let's just guess who's playing who.
I don't think we're playing the Eagles. I think we're playing the Giants, actually.
Oh, well, at least you get back in the W column.
I don't know, like, it seems like Danny Dimes' his perfect game, doesn't it? Knowing my luck.
Oh, no.
I've wished it into existence now.
Right, is this week?
Oh no, we're playing the Ravens. That should be another win for us. The 0-2 Ravens.
Oh, no, they could go on 3, though. That's crazy.
I know.
They could go on 3. Right, so first up, at time of recording, New England play the Jets in about 6 hours' time or so. 1 o'clock, well, 1:30 in the morning for us. Oh no, it's 1 o'clock, I think. I think it's 1 o'clock. But yeah, Jets, Pats, B-Dog, how do you see it going?
I think this is one of those games where it's going to be something like 21-24 or 21-17, 21-20 with a close. Yeah, it's going to be one of those. There's going to be a few touchdowns. I reckon there'll be a few interceptions from either side. Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked himself.
No, he has not.
Obviously, he's still coming off that Achilles, and I don't know. I think it's just going to be a very. It's going to be a game between the 30 and the 30 on both sides of the field. There's going to be a lot of punts.
Oh yeah, fair enough, man. For me, and this is the weekly over the top New England Patriots insight. For me, I'm more than happy with the pass rush. I'm quite happy with that. Week 1, I was delighted with the coverage, and most of the time against the Seahawks last week, I was happy with the coverage. What I want from this week is... Last week we got a little bit too fancy with our play calls on defense. I mean, 0 blitzing on second down so that DK Metcalf can hit a 60-yard touchdown. Come on. Too cute. I mean, it was a blown coverage. I believe it was Gonzo. It was one of the two. But yeah, don't take a chance when you've got someone like that. 0 blitz in them situation. No, not for me. So yeah, if we go back and play kind of defensively like we did in week 1, and kind of keep stuttering forward like we have on offense, because we didn't look bad. We didn't look particularly bad on offense for a team that's not really got any, like out and out stud receivers. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I absolutely agree with you. I don't think it'll be overly scored on one side. It'll be close either way. I've got to go New England just because the Jets are going to Jets.
Do you know what I've just realised as well? I've just realised that whenever we do the predictions right, most teams do the exact opposite to what we think for these first 2 weeks.
Yeah, no.
So I might just go, you know what? It's going to be a 40-48 game with
It actually has done that.
Breece Hall for 200 yards rushing. And I'm going to go Jacoby Brissett goes out with a minor injury in the second, and Drake May throws 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, no, because I hope that does happen. Say the opposite of that. That doesn't happen, right? And then it might happen. Yeah. So obviously, by the time you see this, you'll know what's happened, or when you hear this, you'll know what's happened. But yeah, I think either way, it just gets pipped. Into Sunday, the Giants and the Browns.
I think the Browns have to win that one. Again, I think they beat Jacksonville last week, luckily, but I just really want to see Danny Dimes do something.
To be fair, they were better.
They were. I
They
mean,
were better last
Malik
week.
Neighbours was, I think he was 10 for 18 for 127 yards and a touchdown. Devin Singletary looked pretty good. I think he was just under 100 for a touchdown.
Yep.
Like, the offense did seem to work better.
Yeah, they did.
But again, that defense is where the weakest points. I mean, I know they picked up Brian Burns in the off season, and they've still got Thibodeau. But
Yeah.
is it Thibodeau?
Yeah, Kayvon, yeah.
Yeah. I got to keep getting him and is it Clavishon mixed up sometimes
Right.
because they got picked in the same draft. But yeah, it's they're still building a little bit. I think. I mean, yeah, they've had Danny Dimes for a few years now, and they've just lost Saquon.
They just don't really have an identity, though, do they?
No, not at the moment.
You don't really
no.
know what they're going to be.
No, it's not. It's just the team at the moment. It's just 11 people that go out on the field.
Yeah. Last year, you were like, well, they're going to run the ball.
Yeah, Saquon.
Yeah.
Saquon
This
is
year,
the
you
Giants.
don't really know what it is that they're trying to do.
No, I
But-
mean they're trying to feed Neighbours a lot, and Wendell Robinson's doing pretty well, and still got Darius Slater and the tight ends in Bellinger. They keep subbing in tight ends a little bit, so they're trying to get them like even snaps and stuff
Yeah.
like that to find out who's going to be that next sort of Darren Waller. But yeah, I do think I'll be honest with you. I think change my mind. The New York Giants will win against
So, yeah.
the Browns. Yeah,
Ah.
I mean, I do think. I mean, Andrew Thomas. I think if Myles Garrett decides to stay on that right side pass rushing, I think Andrew Thomas will more than happily keep him quiet a little bit. But then it's the Zadarius Smith and the cornerbacks that you got to worry about next.
See, the Browns looked all right last week, though.
I know.
The Browns looked all right last week. I'm going Cleveland. But yeah, credit where it's due. New York looked a lot better last week, but
Yeah.
I still think Cleveland. Unfortunately, Giant fans. The Green Bay Packers against the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah,
No, it's the Titans from now on.
they're staying as the Titans.
The Titans are the Pittsburgh Feelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
The...
When we get merch, they're the t-shirts.
Oh, that's fucking class. I'll wear a Pittsburgh Steelers t-shirt.
Pittsburgh Feelers. Yeah, man. Yeah, Green Bay, Tennessee.
Tennessee Titans.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
No, I think. Oh God, I could have had a dud there in Byers, the centre for Green Bay, for throwing up on the football
Oh,
mid-play.
yeah. Yeah. Hey, fair to him. He stopped the ball.
He threw up on it, snapped it for Malik Willis to wipe the vomit away before it, and then run for 3 yards. For Matt LaFleur to be like, why don't you pass it? Sorry, Byers threw up on the football. I couldn't grip it.
Let's see if he throws that. It slips out. He throws a pick six.
Yeah, I know. You'd be, wouldn't you? Can you imagine if he threw it though, and the receiver went to catch it, caught it, but the vomit smacked him through the face
Maybe
mask?
that's the way to go, you know.
Oh, that'd have been the greatest play I've ever seen. That.
Oh,
But, no, I
jeez.
think the Green Bay have got it over Tennessee again. Like you said, Will Levis keeps making these mistakes, and Green Bay. I mean, they didn't look bad under Malik Willis.
They looked
They
good.
didn't look bad under Malik
They
Willis.
looked good. He looked really good.
So yeah, I think the Packers will beat the Titans again.
Fun fact: the Packers would have been on my studs list if I was the NFC guy. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought they were really good last week. I think they looked.
I think Christian Watson didn't even get a catch though.
Yeah, I think they looked really good. To say that we went, they're going to do nothing. They don't have a quarterback. another one that we got wrong.
Well, that's it.
But yeah, no, I thought that looks really, really good considering. Right, Chicago, Indianapolis.
This is a tough one, you see.
This is because without being harsh, both really underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Green Bay beat the Colts, but like the Colts didn't look like they could get going. But then, Richardson could make us all look stupid and throw 4 70-yard passes
I mean,
for 240
whatever we
yards
say
and
now, it's
3
going to be the
touchdowns.
exact opposite.
You know what? I reckon this might be Caleb's Williams' game to shine. I think.
I agree with you because I put him in at starter on my fantasy team.
Oh, and here I was. I'm going to trade Baker Mayfield to you.
Oh, you can still do that. If you want. I'm still waiting for the trade.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you Patrick Mahomes.
No, you're all right. You're all right. Yeah, no, I agree. I think sometimes you need that knockdown to bounce back.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, It's another one of them that I think will be close.
It's either, like we said, it's either gonna be like a stupid 10-14
Yeah.
game, or it's gonna be 30 plus for both sides somehow.
They both defend or they both don't defend.
Yeah, that's the way it's gonna be. That's the way it's gonna be, and it's gonna be the shootout between Richardson and Williams.
AD Mitchell showed up last week.
Oh, yeah?
He made a play. Been waiting for that to happen. Yeah, kind of not came onto the scene, but week 2 started making plays. So interested to see how he gets on because
Yeah,
I really like him.
you do like Eddie.
The Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. One of the shocks of the season so far, probably it's fair to
I
say.
think this is a shootout.
Yeah.
I really think this is a shootout. I think
Yeah.
this is the only one we can guarantee is a shootout. So which means it's going to be a shite scoring game.
7-6.
Yeah, it's going to be I don't know, it's going to be a field goal and it's going to be what do they call it? When the Sudoku one where the scores have to get ticked off and they haven't had them before.
Bingo.
No, something like that. It's like there's like some NFL scores that haven't happened yet.
Oh yes, because there was one last year, wasn't there?
There was one, yeah, there was one last year and there was one this year as well. I think in week 1. But yeah, I think it'll be one of those stupid ones where it might be like a field goal and a safety against I don't know, a touchdown and a 2-point
Yeah.
play, something ridiculous like that.
I think the one this year was the Broncos and the Seahawks
Yes, it
because of the
was.
safeties.
It was, yeah, because of the safeties.
But yeah, no, I agree. Minnesota though,
They're nothing to be sniffed at.
no, they're
Not at
playing.
all.
You
I
know,
mean,
they're playing.
the Houston Texans have got a lot of good players and to stop the pass as well as the run. But the Minnesota, Ivan Pace coming out last year and balling out and becoming that main linebacker them for now, and still got Harrison Smith.
Did you see that play from Stroud last week? So he comes out of the pocket, starts running right, escapes the pocket, and is running towards the sideline. And it's nuts. I'm sure it was Chris Collinsworth on comms, and he throws it, and before the camera catches up, you just hear Chris Collinsworth laughing because the throw is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's not kind of like sidestepping. He's throwing, and he launches the ball down for maybe like 20 yards for completion, and yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. It looks like season 1, year 1 wasn't a fluke. He looks every bit the quarterback he was last year, and yeah.
But then again, that's another, Bryce Young.
Well, this is where it's interesting because yes, I'm a Bryce Young guy. I like Bryce Young going into last year's draft. We played the Texans in preseason last year, and Stroud looked horrendous.
Yeah.
And I was telling everyone, imagine picking Stroud, and I'll be young, and I genuinely was, Like I genuinely was, and then obviously he had the season he had, but he genuinely looked awful in preseason, like. But yeah, fair play to him. I think he's very much the benchmark of what rookies should look like coming into the league, and yeah, fair play to him. Who you going for the win?
I'm gonna go with Minnesota.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Texans,
Oh,
and then we can't both be wrong.
exactly. You see, one of those-
Tie.
right,
It's
right.
gonna be a tie. Get your money on. Get your money on a
Right, you
tie.
take all the teams on the left. I'll take all the teams on the right.
Yeah. Right, the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints.
I'm gonna go Saints.
Yep, Saints.
I think.
Best team in the league.
Yeah, you can't fault it.
Nah.
Like it's ridiculous how.
It's the record of the most points within the first 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yep. No, it's just below where they were in 2009 when they won the Super Bowl. I think they're a couple of points below. I think it's 2 or 3 points below where they were when they last won the Super Bowl in 2009. So yeah, the Saints, Super Bowl finalists.
Yep.
Derek Carr, MVP, Walter Payton Man of the Year, world's strongest man. He's just gonna win every award.
Yeah, win everything. The Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. He's already set up for the Nobel Prize.
BBC Sports Personality of the Year.
Blue Peter badge.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We're all in on the Saints.
No, honestly, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I think the Saints, with the way they're going,
They're
at the
scoring
moment,
points, though.
Yeah, they can't. They're getting stops on defense and they're scoring points. What more do you want a football team to do?
No, exactly. Yeah, be interested. you can't just write the Eagles off. Obviously, there's a little bit of satire in there, but
You know, Saquon dropping passes for third down completions,
I mean,
losing the game.
yeah, the Eagles struggling last week,
Yeah.
going into the hottest team in the league right now. It's a really interesting
AJ
one.
Brown out as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think,
I don't know. Well, I do know the Saints. Let's go.
Alvin Kamara is going to break LaDainian Tomlinson's touchdown record on the ground.
Yeah.
Anything could happen for the Saints.
He's
this
going to
year.
run for 6,000 yards in this game, man.
Yeah, like it was literally a case of like, hey, we're gonna pick this quarterback, and Derek Carr went, yo, hold my beer,
Yeah.
let me suddenly play
Oh,
football.
by the way, I'm the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I just really didn't like the Raiders. Apparently, I really like playing in black and gold as opposed to black and silver.
Yeah, I didn't fancy it last year, but I'm up for it this
Yeah,
year.
literally just.
Yeah,
Something just clicked in Sid's head from Toy Story, and he was just like, "Yo, I need to play some ball here."
it's like get me guy liner back out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play some ball.
Pretty much, yeah. It was like, "Well, receivers, I don't need Devontae Adams, Michael Crabtree.
Yeah.
Just give me Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave, and give me Raheed Shaheed 70 yards downfield every play.
Every game.
Hey, Shaheed, just run a post, mate. I'll lob it to you."
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Fuck it, Rashid's down there
Yeah,
somewhere.
Pretty much, innit? Don't need Moss anymore.
Nah.
Just give me Raheed Shaheed. 22 as a wide receiver number. It's mental. And then even the defense, they're getting stops as well.
I know, man. And do you know what, right? We've spoken about the Pats and the Cowboys already, and this is the most hyped we are.
Yeah,
for a
honestly, the
team.
Saints, I want to see the Saints. I really like the Saints. Drew Brees is one of my favorite quarterbacks. I didn't have him on my list in when we did the earlier things, and I should have done. I completely forgot about Breezes.
Yeah, it's alright, man.
So, but I love Drew
Everyone's
Brees.
forgot about the lists, anyways.
Yeah, I love Breezes to pieces. I just love a guy who's just humble as anything. Breaks his shoulder, can't really throw.
What a cannon.
I mean, for a guy who had a dead shoulder that
Yeah.
from the Chargers straight to the Saints and to win a Super Bowl
What-
with hardly anyone on that team.
Cannon. Absolute cannon.
But again, one thing that I think he did really well that a couple of these young guys could learn from is the three-step backdrop, hitch and throw. There's no waiting for something to get open.
You just reminded me, one of our players against the Seahawks, 7-step drop. 7-step, not play action either. It wasn't even play action. It was just genuinely a 7-step drop.
On what it must have been like 4th and 94 or something like that.
Nah. I don't know. It took Brissett about 20 minutes to get there.
He was on holiday.
Yeah.
But he was playing football.
Yeah, because I'm not a quarterback expert. You'll know a lot more about quarterbacks than I do. But I thought it was 3 or 5, and 5 most of the time is with a play action.
Yeah, and that's like a very old-fashioned kind of thing as well, like a 5-step under center, 5-step drop throw. Like
jeez, yeah, 7-step drop.
steps.
Christ
That man
almighty.
thought the game was over. He was leaving. That's what the
It
problem
was
was.
almost a safety.
He was done. He was done. He just left.
Back
There you
of
go.
the
I'm taking my ball home.
out the back of the end zone safety.
He was like, I don't care. Start me. I'm taking my ball home. Can't play without me. Honestly, right.
Right,
Moving on from
yeah,
the Saints, absolutely going to destroy the
jeez
Philadelphia Eagles.
Christ.
They're going to score another 40 points, and the Eagles are going to score, I reckon, about
Yeah.
21. Right.
Chargers, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Chargers.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Can't argue with it. Quentin Johnson.
Winning games, but not like how?
Hey, it works. It works.
Chris Boswell's got the team on his back for some reason.
Pittsburgh, yeah. That man is going after.
Oh yeah, no,
Vinatieri.
sorry, I was on about Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers. No,
But
the Chargers are good.
Yeah, the Chargers. It's that perfect kind of balance now, when it have run past for them that they've been waiting for. Jim Harbaugh literally coming in and being like, "Hey, this is how you play football and win games."
Oh, did you not know you're supposed to do this?
Yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, Quentin Johnson, from the world's best bust to 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Herbert looks absolutely electric
He
as well. You
does.
can see he's got a little pep in his step.
J.K. Dobbins again. There's a fly. He's just trying to catch it. Honestly, I promise he's not swatting at something invisible. I can see it as well. I can just ignore it because I don't have ADHD.
Don't call me out, man.
Still going.
Nah,
That's just him asking for his lunch. Right.
Fuck's sake, man.
Yeah, but I think J.K. Dobbins, I think it was another 130-yard rushing game for
Yeah,
him
man. Yeah.
in 2 weeks from being injured and people being like, "Oh, this guy's not going to do
Yeah,
anything."
lights
So,
out. Absolutely lights out.
phenomenal. He's already on set for. I think he's easily on par for a 2,000-yard rushing season if he carries on
Yeah.
which is mental considering the fact he's only had 20 carries.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But
Crazy.
this is what we said. Before a ball was even snapped, they're going to be able to run the ball
Oh
well.
yeah.
It was always going to happen. The Wolverines in college last year, one of the big things on JJ McCarthy was he's not throwing the ball enough. How do we know? Because they just ran the ball. They ran the ball that effectively. And obviously, Jim Harbaugh comes in the Chargers. We said they're going to run the ball well. And look, we said they're going to run the ball more, and they're not.
Yeah.
They're not. They're just as effective in the passing game
Yep.
as they are running it, but they're running it well.
They are really well. The offensive line is working. Joe Watt on the right, Rashawn Slater on the left.
I think Dillas.
He picks up
I think that we have to call him Big Sexy Joe Alt.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
Big Sexy Joe
I think Dill refers to him as Big Sexy.
big sexy.
So yeah,
Call him big sexy.
whatever that means. I don't like it when people sexualize players, but here we are, Big Sexy Joe Alt. But yeah, no man.
You can't see this right now, but Kev's lifting up the table with his appendage. So
I'm the same as you. I like a rugged guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like a
I do.
rugged. I like a rugged.
I like a guy who, like we said, and we keep talking about Joe all the time about when he went for his draft and we watched him on the video. A guy that lives in a log cabin that wears Corey Sims
Yeah.
jacket.
Yeah, man.
6'9" is about there to play 10 years with the Pro Bowl football.
Fancy some tea? I'm just gonna go out and kill a bear.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That man walks in, he's just like, sorry, I've just had to milk 3 elks to get my food for today. I've
Yeah, man.
brought a baby bird to life. I've got to go and play football for 2 hours, and then I'm going to go ride a bear into the sunset.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It looks like every southern state's like poster boy, doesn't he?
He looks like he was chiseled out of a tree.
I mean, this is a kind of crude warning. He must destroy his missus. She's tiny. Did you see when he got drafted? Jesus Christ, that poor girl.
Chopping wood and laying wood.
That poor girl must struggle for weeks afterwards. I'm telling you. I don't know what she's called, but you'd notice, wouldn't you?
Hi, Mum.
Ooh.
I know you're watching these podcasts now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Really appreciate all the support on Instagram and stuff. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. No, yeah, we'll leave that. Never mind. We'll leave that. This is gonna break my heart a little bit, but Bo Picks is Denver Broncos and sexy Mayfield. Let's go.
Yeah, I think Tampa again.
Yeah,
they're absolutely
Baker's
on the
gone
roll.
Baker, man.
Yeah, on the roll at the moment. But I saw something the other day as well that said the Panthers is a place for quarterbacks to die. Because Sam Darnold went to there, was awful, balling out at Minnesota now.
Yeah.
Bayfield at the Panthers,
Well, they asked, didn't they? What do you think about the Panthers struggling and Bryce Young? And Baker was just like, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Like, there's a player in there. I think he knows that organisation is just setting people up to fail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is the point in? Yes, we can look back and say Stroud would have been the better pick.
Yeah.
Fine, fair enough. But even without knowing that, what is the point in drafting a quarterback with the first pick overall, but trading away all your chances to get him some help?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
It wasn't worth it in the end. But
Why would you do that? Draft your quarterback and go, right, next year we're going to draft a wide receiver in the first round. The year after that, we'll draft someone on the O-line, or whatever you need.
Well, they kind of didn't, because they picked up Leggett with their first pick. But
Well, yeah, I know, but it's what you've lost. Well,
I know they need another Luke Kuechly on that defense, which I don't think you're going to get for a very long time.
you see what the Bears got for like after the picks were made. So they got Caleb, they got Odunze. Did they get DJ Moore as part of the?
Yeah, with the
Trade.
Panthers deal, yep.
It's crazy. And more. They've still got another pick next year, I think, haven't they? Well, this year coming. crazy, absolutely crazy thread. But yeah, back on this game.
Tampa Bay for a
Yeah,
yeah.
Baker's gone bake.
They could go big.
Yep. One quick defence, I will say, Bo Nix did look better last week.
Yeah.
And his interview was absolutely class. Did
Yeah.
you see it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what did you make of the interception? It was like, hey, what did you make of the interception in the end zone? Well, drop back, threw the ball to the other team. And that was it. Yep, fair enough, Bo.
It's like one of those things. It's one of those things in football, isn't it? It happens sometimes,
You can't argue that, can you? Yeah, drop back, threw the ball to the other team. I really like him.
I think again, this is a lot of rookie quarterbacks in this class, so it's easy to pinpoint the good ones. But you look at these players like Bo Nix, and you're like, he's got all the experience in college, and then comes into the league. He's had 2 bad games, a couple of picks thrown, and you know what I mean. And another quarterback might be like, I need to do better.
Yeah.
But he's just like, hey, it's football. I might throw those picks this game. Next game, I might throw 4 touchdowns.
People think I'm crazy, right? I have this conversation with Si. I think he'll be fine,
Yeah, he will be.
Like, I genuinely think that, and he's looked. I mean, last week was better, but he's looked bad. But I genuinely do think he'll be fine,
Yeah.
Because he's got to the point now where he's trying to force it. Right? Oh, I look really crap. I need to start forcing it. Like we were saying with Will Levis before, kind of that kind of thing. Just don't. The good thing with his situation is his coach really believes in him.
Yeah.
Kind of the opposite of the
not McVay, Peyton.
Peyton, yeah. But yeah, Tampa Bay, right?
Just really needs to hit them with a touchdown. Let's give them that discount double check, just to shut up the haters.
Well, I think once he starts rolling, he'll be absolutely fine. And I always go back to the Peyton Manning rookie year. Awful, absolutely awful. One of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Yep.
It's not easy. Defenses look completely different.
Yep.
Right. Carolina Panthers, Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh God, this is a tough one.
Miami Dolphins, Seattle Seahawks.
Moving on.
It's the Raiders, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Raiders.
Okay. Dolphins, Seahawks.
Seattle. I think Miami coming into with Skylar Thompson.
You're not fancying Skylar.
No, again, I know he didn't get much of a game last game, but I do think it's going to take him a little bit to sit in because I'll be honest with you right now. I think if most quarterbacks went into a game and had to throw to Tyreek Hill, most of the people would underthrow him or overthrow him.
I'm just gonna go out and say I've been waiting for this kind of situation because I've always said to whoever that I'm talking to, if you were playing quarterback for the Dolphins and you had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, you would be a good quarterback. Miami Dolphins win.
Oh.
I can't see a world where that offense with your A-Chain, Mosterts, obviously,
Injured, didn't he?
well,
Jalen Wright.
yeah, generally speaking,
Jeff Wilson.
yeah, that offense wins games.
Yeah.
Regardless, I think they'll
But
win.
you can think about the defense as well. Jalen Ramsey, I think, still out.
Yeah, nah. Seattle took overtime to beat us.
Yeah, it's true.
And look, don't get us wrong, we're better than everyone expected. We're up to 27th in the power rankings this week. But yeah, I mean, this might be another one where I look stupid, but I've said it for a long time. The receivers make Tua. Tua doesn't make the receivers any better. And I think that's going to show. Right, the big boys. Baltimore Ravens 0-2, Dallas Cowboys.
1-1. I think it's at AT&T Stadium. I think it's going to be a good scoring game. I think it's going to be a game of offense. That.
Yeah, fair enough. The problem with the Ravens offense is it's just a little bit disjointed.
Yeah, there's nothing really.
I touched a little bit on it earlier, but
Lamar is throwing some bad passes. The receivers are making some drops. It just doesn't seem to be as effective as they were.
no, they don't.
So I reckon their whole game plan is going to be read option runs with Lamar and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
That's going to be their whole offense, and then a couple of flats and a couple of outs.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough.
But I do think Dallas win that one because I think we've got enough in the box to hopefully stop it.
I absolutely agree with you. One thing I wanted to mention, which I forgot until now, that CD Lamb catch last week in between two guys, ducked down. Oh my God.
That's why you pay them.
That's why you pay him.
That's why you pay them.
We spent weeks saying that, but that's why you pay him, because he had no right
To score that, no.
to get out of that.
No, not at all.
Absolutely nuts. Yeah, Cowboys for me as well. Open and shut.
What's that?
Yep. The 49ers, Los Angeles Rams.
I think the Rams.
Yeah.
I think when you looked at the 49ers last week, they looked a bit. Yeah.
So did the Rams.
I know. I think I think it's going to be one of those where the defense for the 49ers is going to take a little bit of a foot off the gas because Kupp and Nakua are out. They're going to think like these wide receivers aren't as good as they are. I think it's going to be a case of that they're going to play a lot of man coverage, I reckon, compared to zone, thinking these receivers, never heard of these people, and it's going to take them by surprise a little bit.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think San Fran beat them, but yeah, like you said, both teams kind of underwhelming last week, and when both teams play each other this week, it's kind of hard to see what the game's going to be like.
Yeah.
I think on paper, and we've said this before, San Francisco looked too much, but last week they didn't.
Yeah.
They did not. I'm still going to go with them, but yeah, strange game. The Detroit Lions and the Arizona Cardinals. Give it a bloody rest now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good scoring game, this one again. I think this is going to be in the high 30s, but I think Arizona are going to win this one again. I think they carry on the exact
You
same way
having
they were last
Detroit
year.
going 1-2? No,
1 win, 2 losses.
1 and 2. Yeah, they won week 1,
I
didn't they?
I do. You know, I think it's another one of those things like the Detroit Lions last year. They played like they had nothing to lose. Now they're playing like they do have something to lose a little bit, and you can see it a little bit in them. Whereas the Cards this year, what forgot to lose?
The Lions going for it with a fake punt from their own 13-yard line. I swear.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
They're playing like they've got something to lose, but they don't care that they're going to lose. Compared to last year when they played and everyone was like, "Oh wow, these guys are playing like they're just going to lose." Now they're playing like they got nothing to lose, and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Just punt the ball."
That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Because so obviously I was away at the weekend, so I didn't catch red zone and stuff. So I was just catching up on highlights. I've not seen a lot of all the games, but I kind of caught that, and I was like, "Oh, the Lions have gone for it." And then the replay came up. I was like, "What yard line is that?" Because I can see the end zone.
Yeah. Honestly, you just
crazy. You would love and hate to be a Lions fan, wouldn't you?
you would.
I'm going Lions for what it's worth.
When Arizona Cards.
I'm going to stick with this little Cards rivalry that we've got, and we're just going to go through it all year. Monday's game, B-Dog.
Yeah, Kansas City against Atlanta. That'll be a good game, I think. I think
Yeah.
goes back a little bit. And it's up now for Mahomes to do Mahomes things
Yeah.
after having a bad two games.
Just to be clear, Monday for us, it's the late Sunday
Yeah,
game.
it's the 9 o'clock
Yeah,
kickoff in
1:20 a.m. in the morning for us.
Not
but
8 o'clock or whatever it is over there.
yeah. But yeah, Kansas, we said before, struggled a little bit. Atlanta looked stinking in week 1.
Yeah.
Better last week. A lot better last week. I think that one's a tricky one, you know.
Yeah.
I think that might be a little bit of a trip up game.
That is. I think. Yeah. I think Atlanta.
Do you know what? I actually agree with you.
Yeah, I think Atlanta.
I
It's an
actually
upset to
agree with you.
Kansas.
Yeah, I agree with you. Because Kansas have always been one of them teams that they'll throw in a loss every now and then, for,
Yeah.
like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, coming off last week, even week 1, like yes, they beat the Ravens, but never really looked like they were electric.
No.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think Atlanta have got every single chance to come out of that with a W.
Yep.
And yeah, on to Tuesday.
2 games on Tuesday.
So first one is 12:30 in the morning for us. Second one's 1:50 in the morning for us. Obviously, both Monday night football games. First one, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I think the Buffalo are still on a roll somehow. When you look at the team on paper, there's nothing there, but they're winning games.
Yeah,
So,
I'm disappointed with Jacksonville. I really fancied them this year.
yeah, they were looking like Brian Thomas was electric.
Yeah, week 1 against the Dolphins, that close, and they looked every bit as good a team.
Yeah.
And then what has happened?
I know, falling off the bandwagon.
So, that's the sexiest quarterback in the league.
Trevor Lawrence, I don't think he's the sexiest.
Oh, he is. No, I don't mean like in terms of like a sexy
Are you
man.
talking about Josh Allen?
No, Trevor Lawrence is a sexy woman. Do you know what I mean? Like if that man was like just the same as he is, but a woman, that's a sexy woman.
Yeah, I like my women 6'6".
Same. Same. Same.
Looking like the villain out of Rocky.
Well, Ivan Drago. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. Buffalo last week looked a miles better team. Yeah, I can't see how they don't win that one. Yeah. On to the next one.
On to the next game.
On to the next one. There's not much to say about that one, other than sexy Trevor. Right, the Washington Commanders against the Cincinnati Bengals.
I think the Washington Commanders win this one. I really do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bengals are struggling.
Mm.
We've said everything before about Burrow's hand, Jamar Chase being a little dick.
T. Higgins is still out.
Struggled. Well, T. Higgins is out. Struggled against us in week 1. Played against the Chiefs, but they always play well against the Chiefs.
They do.
What do you think of the refereeing in that game? Because there was a lot of, oh, here we go again, the Chiefs are getting, but I didn't really see too much wrong with.
No, I think it's just one. There might be referees going to make at least one bad call a game. You're going to say easily, even with all the video footage and everything. But if it goes Kansas City's way, everyone's going to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I don't think it stunk of like, oh, they're trying to help the Chiefs win.
It depends. I'll just check the script. Yeah, I think Kansas are going 15-2
Yeah. Yeah.
from this paperwork here.
Yeah.
that Goodell sent me.
Yeah, man. No, it's yeah, I was just interested because a lot of the uproar, like you said, whenever a decision goes in favour of the Chiefs, and it was the same with us for years. It was the same. It's just a team that's successful. If they get a decision, it's kind of that way.
Yeah.
But I didn't really see too much of it, and I was just interested in that. But
I hated the script when Des didn't catch it.
that the NFL media, do you know when there was like a big like conspiracy theory that like it was scripted, and then the NFL brought that advert out. It was like that's not in the script.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. Right. Oh yeah, this is the last game.
Commanders. I go Commanders. I think Jaden's looking too electric to not do much, and the Bengals are just struggling a little bit.
I have to absolutely agree with you, B-Dog. I can't see any other result than that. Obviously, yes, the Bengals played a bit better last week, but they always do against the Chiefs, and we've spoke about the Chiefs not looking fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think either team were lights out.
No.
Yeah, I've just got a team that we won against well, and yes, again, we're better than everyone expected we were going to be, but we looked fairly comfortable in that game.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign for the Bengals at all.
Not at all.
Not a good sign. But yeah, other than that, have you got anything else to bring up, B-Dog?
No, nothing more to add. Apart from Saints are winning the NBA finals, the Tibetan bobsleigh competition, ski jumping, everything. It
Strictly
seems.
Come Dancing.
Yeah,
they're going to win that.
Total wipeout.
Yep. So, come with us. Get on the Saints train. Choo choo. Also, if you're on Spotify, give this a rate or a like or whatever it is over there. Comment. Leave a little comment. If you're on YouTube, comment, subscribe, like the video. Leave a little comment. Leave a little comment who you think the sexiest quarterback is.
Oh, okay.
That'd be good. But yeah.
Please don't do that, Mother.
It's Trevor Steele. But yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, it's good for me as well.
And we'll see you next time, guys. Thank you very much.
See you later.
Peace.